Welcome back, folks. I'm here to talk about how San Antonio, Texas can be absolute hell or maybe hella awesome depending on where you're coming from in the country. So, I've actually moved around and lived in a few different states, and I can see how San Antonio would be a place you would really want to avoid coming to. So, I made a list of the top 8 things that can make your life absolute hell if you're coming to move to San Antonio, Texas. But then again, who knows? You might think it's awesome. So, if you really want a true perspective on what it's like to call Texas home, let's go ahead and get into those 8 things right now. What's going on, y'all? This is Mina Slaughter, and if this is your first time visiting this channel, it's all about what it's like to live in San Antonio, Texas, to eat, sleep, play, breathe, and the 8 reasons it may be hellacious for you to live here. Now, if you're not new here, welcome back. This is the Living in San Antonio, Texas channel. Now make sure y'all hit that like button. It's going to help anyone else looking for this information to be able to find these helpful videos. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and tap that notification bell, and you'll be notified anytime we put out a new video on this channel. Go ahead and reach out to us, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, schedule us with a Zoom down in the link below. And look, we talked to so many people who are reaching out. They're thinking about making that move. They're decided to relocate to San Antonio or one of the surrounding towns and need help finding a place to live in San Antonio. Hey, if that's the case and San Antonio isn't for you and you need a place outside of San Antonio, don't worry. We've got teams all over 50 states that are standing by and they're ready to help you anytime. So if any of these sound like you, however you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas. So let's go ahead and kick it off, y'all, with our number 1 reason, and that is the Texas gun laws. So I'm sure you've heard the myths and stories about gun-toting Texans in their boots and cowboy hats riding around on horses all day long. Well, I'd have to tell you, that's a wrong misconception. However, Texans really do respect and love their guns. Now, if guns make you uneasy or you're concerned, you should know that in the state of Texas, after September 1st, 2021, Texans over the age of 21 who have not been convicted of a felony and subject to other restrictions under the new law, HB 1927, allows for folks here in Texas to carry a handgun in a public place without a license to carry. That's correct, without a license to carry. So Texans can still apply for the license to carry. However, it does have additional benefits. Just go check out the Texas Department of Public website, find out all the rules. But this might be something that really makes you feel uneasy, just saying, hey, people can walk around with guns in the open and not need a license. No way, that's not for me. And that's okay, because guns might not be for everybody. We all know that guns can be used for good, and guns can be used for evil, and it just depends on who's wielding that weapon. So if guns aren't for you, then you'll agree with me when I say that the number 1 reason to avoid living in San Antonio is the Texas gun laws. Another reason you might think San Antonio might not be for you brings us to our number 2 reason, and that's diversity. So San Antonio is a melting pot for all walks of life. All year, we have a large military influx because San Antonio is Military City, USA, and it's home to Joint Base San Antonio. Now, this is the military's one of their largest installations in the south of the country, and it brings in active military, veterans, and civilian employees year-round. San Antonio is really starting to be known as a retirement city, and it's very economical to retire in. As the city continues to grow, you'll find that folks are really friendly. So there's a large, vast array of schools here in San Antonio for nursing, doctoral programs, anesthesiology residencies, universities, vocational schools, technical programs. All of this brings a high amount of diverse crowds here into the Alamo City. Now, if this doesn't sound like a place that would best fit your lifestyle, then reason number 2 may fit right in line. Well, we all know it exists and many folks might not want to talk about it, but it's going to bring me to my number 3 reason why it seems like hell in San Antonio, and that's the crime. So crime's all over the city and many folks know what's going on. We've been on the receiving end of some trespassers, and let's say it could have ended worse, but the police came and it was quite the experience. Not something I recommend, but it was an experience. So according to the SAPD website, you have a 1 in 165 chance of becoming a victim of a violent crime in San Antonio. So the city actually ranks in the 4th percentile for safest cities in the US. So 96% of all US cities are safer than San Antonio. I know that seems really shocking, but there are reasons crime's happening in San Antonio. You're going to see a lot of property crime, burglary, and larceny. This is one of the reasons to stay the hell out of San Antonio. So there are several places around San Antonio that are lower on the crime scale. So you can find Helotes, Texas, or Fair Oaks Ranch if you need to move into the Alamo City and you don't want to live in San Antonio. Those might be some towns to consider. So just something to think about. This might be one reason to halt you from moving to San Antonio, Texas. Let's kick off number 4 on our list with reasons to avoid moving to San Antonio, Texas, and that would be the traffic. So no matter where you're driving on the highway or in town, in San Antonio during the week, you're bound to be sitting in traffic. So most of the major roads and highways are under construction in the Alamo City, so it's bringing constant construction and road congestion and longer than normal commute times. Not to mention the people who don't know how to drive well, who love to text and drive in the fast lane and not pay attention, or one of my favorites, changing lanes without a blinker. God, I love that. No, I really don't. So rush hour is generally, give or take, it goes between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the morning and from the hours of 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the afternoon. So just plan on spending another 25 to 30 minutes on the road longer than you would usually. Now, traffic isn't the only thing you're going to deal with. So I've had the recent experience of just having a hit and run. So as I was going down Loop 1604, passing UTSA, we started stopping and there's a right-hand lane that you can exit off to go to Costco. And the guy was not paying attention. And next thing I knew, he was slamming into the back corner of my truck. So not to mention, once we actually pulled over and tried to exchange information, he took off. So luckily, I got his license plate number. So that's one of the things that you'll have to deal with here in San Antonio, Texas. Also, another thing that's been happening is there's been a lot of pedestrians being hit by vehicles and crosswalks and sidewalks all over San Antonio. So we've been seeing a rise on that according to the Texas Department of Transportation website. So finishing up, my number 4 reason on why to move to San Antonio, Texas would be the traffic. If you're anything like me and have allergies, then you'll agree with me when I say that allergies takes this number 5 spot on the reasons of why to avoid San Antonio, Texas. So San Antonio really does have yearly allergies. The most infamous of all the seasons is cedar fever season. This is when the grape pollen covers the city and you'll see a wavering smoke. It's like yellow dusty. It looks like it's blowing through the air. This is actually pollen from the cedar trees that you'll see throughout San Antonio and the Texas Hill Country. So this yellow dust, it brings on really debilitating symptoms that include nasal congestion, incessant sneezing, itchy, red, burning eyes, sore throats, headaches, fatigue, and symptoms that really feel like a fever. I've had it, it's the pits, it makes you feel like you have the flu, often confusing, makes you feel like the flu. It's not something that you want to have, but to keep you from getting this, what's helped me is staying indoors or changing my clothes when I'm coming in and outside. From being outside, rinsing my nose with nasal rinses, using allergy sprays, using daily allergy meds. Also, HEB has a Texas fever allergy relief drop called Allergena. That might help for you, it might not, but it should help alleviate some of those symptoms, and it'll cost you around $21. It's like a jar this big with a little dropper. You should try it. So if that doesn't help your symptoms, well, continuing on throughout the year, we'll be experiencing molds from the rains, ragweeds, African dust that blows through the sky, and also tree pollens that just really bloom and ravage allergy sufferers year long. So this ties up my number 5 reason on why to avoid living in San Antonio, Texas. Howdy y'all, let's start with my number 6 reason on why you should avoid living in San Antonio, and that's because there's a lot of friendly folks. So Texans are known for their incredible hospitality and friendly nature. Now the pride many Texans carry from living here, it actually translates to a really incredible friendly good nature. So the word Texas actually translates to the word friend. So that doesn't sound like it should be an issue, but I know folks who don't like to be bothered, they don't want to be looked at, waved at, smiled at, they just want to be left alone. Now, some of my neighbors who recently relocated in from other states, They actually will let me know when they want to be heard from, and that's okay with me. Doesn't bother me at all. So in my last neighborhood we lived in, we lived at the end of a cul-de-sac, and the neighbor would love to pop her head over literally daily when she would get off of work. I'd be sitting out on the patio, having a glass of wine, just unwinding from the day, trying to forget my day as I would listen to her hear about her day. My ear would get filled. So, I mean, there's always friendly banter going on. So if you don't want folks poking their heads over your fence saying howdy neighbors, then you might think twice on where you live when moving to San Antonio, Texas. The bugs are bigger in Texas. Haven't you heard the saying? I know you've heard everything is bigger in Texas, but I'd be lying to you if I said what bugs. So the cockroaches in Texas are definitely bigger and they fly. They have wings and they fly. I always remember as a kid hearing my uncles from back east joking around saying, man, they weren't kidding about these bugs in Texas. Grab a saddle and giddy up. Every time they saw cockroaches outside, they freaked out. It used to crack me up when I was a kid. So, I mean, there's still cockroaches now. It's just funny remembering those types of things. So the next thing would be the mosquitoes. So with all the ponds, rivers, lakes in and around San Antonio, it's going to bring a lot of mosquitoes. So usually in early February through late fall, we'll have mosquitoes. And you know, these little suckers, they land on you, suck your blood and leave a lump and they itch. It's the worst. Other things that will love to bother you are the flies. So don't even bother sitting outside and trying to eat a piece of watermelon. The flies seem to find it for miles and come and get you. So let's not forget all the paper wasps. I don't know what's going on lately, but in the spring to the fall, there's been all these paper wasps in groves every year. It's just hard to sit outside and enjoy a drink or anything. Even if you're sweating or working out, it seems like the paper wasps are flying out. So anyway, bugs in Texas are big and they do exist. So that wraps up my number 7 in reasons why to avoid moving to San Antonio, Texas. Okay, there's no other way to say it, but it's frickin' hot here. The summer alone has topped charts this year in record-breaking triple-digit weather with no rain in sight. July was straight 100 triple days every single day. You can check out the weather on Ken's 5 San Antonio. San Antonio usually gets an average of 25 inches of rain every single year, but this year the drought has stemmed such crazy steamy hot days. All the water holes have dried away. Famous Jacob's Hole has been dried up. With all the heat sweltering down, it's brought on a lot of humidity and high hot winds. So it's important to drink water if you're outside because heat-related illnesses here are no joke. Now, if you're coming from a place like Arizona, the heat you'll find here is more humid, so it feels more steamy coming out of a dry heat. Now remember, San Antonio is humid subtropical climate minus the tropical rains this year, right? So that's wrapping up my number 8 reason on why to avoid moving to San Antonio, Texas, and that's the heat. So there it is, folks. I just gave you 8 facts on why to avoid moving to San Antonio, Texas. I was keeping it real with you, letting you know about the crime, the bugs, the heat, and all these other things you'll most likely experience if you're making your move out to San Antonio, Texas. Now look, if you've made it this far and you haven't hit that like button already, please do so. It's going to help everybody else find these helpful videos. Hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell, and you'll be notified anytime we put out a new video on this channel. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we get so many people reaching out that are already thinking about making that move, determined to make that move, or they're here and they're just trying to find a place that best fits their lifestyle. Whichever category you fall under, give us a text, shoot us a call, send us an email, however you want to get a hold of us. We've got your back when it comes to moving to San Antonio, Texas. Now, if San Antonio isn't the place for you, we have many trusted business partners in every state, so check out our other videos that we have right now.